What's going on, everybody? It is me again. It is time to lean in, bitch. Welcome to the lean. If it's your first time, if not, welcome back. I am your host, Cortez, and I'm here with Jayne and Danny. And we're about to get into some damn things for the Real Housewives of Beverly. We didn't finally got a good episode in like 4 weeks. And yes, 4 is correct. So, what's going on, Jayne?
There's a lot of feedback. Am I the only one hearing that?
I don't know, baby.
I don't hear anything.
God damn it! It's me.
It may be
it's
that
great.
loud
Here we go. It's better now. It's better now. I'm doing amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Garcelle and Sutton show. Have a seat.
Kathy show.
And Kathy as a comedic relief.
What's going on, Danny? How you doing? I see you wearing orange today. My orange
Yes.
is nice as yours.
I'm doing lovely. I'm in a good mood today. We finally had us a good episode, baby, because we done had a couple of weeks of fillers, and just ready.
So I do hear a little feedback, and I think it may be that ceiling fan behind you, Jamie. You may want to turn it
But
off.
I always have it on, and it's never a problem.
Well,
no, it was Danny.
It wasn't me. I had a desk fan on.
We can't. Child.
Wow. Why was I the one? Why was I?
Because I saw the ceiling fan, and it was whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Just trying to make anything stick. Homeless and toothless.
Nonetheless, welcome to Lean again. Go ahead and hit that like button. We're gonna get into some things tonight. It was actually a good episode. Like I said, it's been a month now, 4 weeks since we've had a good episode, and this one I thought was pretty damn good. And before we get started, I have one question: is it toothless or is it homeless? what is the proper thing to say?
It's stupid.
Girl.
It's a lot. I'm just hollering at the way Kathy just circled back and was so mad that she got yelled at for the damn name. She says, is it homeless? It was good. All right, y'all. Let's get into the episode. We got a lot to discuss. Before anybody asks, where's Chase? Chase is on vacation. Then you gotta ask no more. Somebody let Isabel know when she get here, because I know she won't.
You got to take attendance.
Can you pin it? Can you pin it in the actual YouTube chat for Isabel?
I'll try to do it. One of y'all talking. I'll try to put it in there, child. Toothless and homeless is the theme of the season. You know what? Maybe that's be the theme for the reunion recap. Maybe we'll figure out what's symbolic.
The homeless looks and that.
I don't want to be mocking the homeless though. That's rude. We can all get rid of our side tubes though. Put like some little silver paper. I don't know.
I mean, some of us don't need to do that, and I'm not going to be anybody.
Well, hold on, baby.
Hold on.
I got my
not every girl can say that. Not every girl can say that.
I don't know who Jamie talking about, but somebody ain't got no side teeth, so
it's not on this.
You.
Some of these gay influencers know a little bit about being homeless and toothless, so good for them.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that.
Follow my Twitter.
A lot of things has happened over the last week. Things that have actually been talked about more than the most recent episodes. We had Rinna revealing in the behind the scenes or the extended scenes version of the episode last week that she indeed did not Harry did not care whether or not Garcelle gave a thank you. That was one thing. I don't know why they cut that out, but it seems like a lot of these behind the scenes or extended scenes they show some juicy shit. I wish that Bravo in general would stop doing that. We had last week on Watch What's Happening Live, Kathy called Lizzo precious. That was pretty big over the few days. And before we talk about it, did y'all have an issue with that, or was y'all okay with it? Did y'all think it was funny, or was it too much?
So here's the thing. Initially, I had an issue because I'll admit Rinna's comments and everything that she made was like playing in the back of my mind, so I feel I was biased. But the more I think about it, that lady didn't even know who Melissa Etheridge was. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I think Bravo has kind of shown that their stars very much are racially insensitive. So, I mean, there's been a pattern of behavior. So initially, I was just kind of like, girl, it's not that hard to learn someone's name. Like, two black women do not look alike. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, she thought Garcelle was Kyle.
But then here's the other part about it. I was believable in her trying to, everybody saying, oh, she's just dizzy. She don't know who people are. But it was her trying to clean it up that bothered me. When she kept saying, well, that's what I call her. I call her Precious. I didn't like that. That made it seem like she was backtracking.
But but just this is not nothing new. I mean, she called, the lady last year, the lady. She didn't give her a proper name either. So she clearly has
an issue. Say she bad with names.
I don't think she's bad with names. She has an issue with calling people by their name like that.
She's just so rich she doesn't care to know anybody's name.
And that's, to some people, that's excusable. Some people it's not. How y'all feel about Cherie recently? So Cherie been getting a lot of damn feedback and backlash because she clicking down. She is coming for now. Although we ain't team Big Sut as much as we used to. We still enjoy Sut. I'll say that.
I know I am.
Okay, well, she get on my damn nerves sometimes now, but I still enjoy her enough to where Cherie, girl, what are you saying? How we feel about Cherie and her recent interviews? Because
I missed that. What did she say?
A permanent spot on the show.
So she said that she told Garcelle that maybe Garcelle can't get close to the other women because of Sutton.
But that's, I mean, Garcelle kind of alluded it to tonight, where she was like, "That's really not Sutton's fault or my fault. That's y'all's fault. That has nothing to do with either one of us. Because if you really wanted to get to know me, you would get to know me." Like, Cherie, I don't understand why you're trying to.
It's given that Cherie is still bitter that Garcelle dated Will, and she's really not her friend, and she's just trying to get in and fit in with the other women.
It's like that's just very odd, because if that was my friend being attacked for stuff, I would be defending my friend. Like my friend doesn't need to do any of that. If my friend wants to be your friend, it doesn't care who's around. That's just very odd that she, that's.
I guess what this cast does not understand the levels to friendships. I think they missing the fact that we've said every week, Garcelle and Sutton are truth. They're friends. They hang out beyond the show. You know what I'm saying? And I think that honestly is all they need to understand, but they probably won't. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's get to the actual episode while we got time or whatever. Sorry, Danny. So we pick up from last week. We're still at the event where, what's her name? Rinna breaks down, and this is after the breakdown. And we talked about last week how she's kind of been, I feel like she's using Lois as a crutch, and Danny said she can use it as long as she wants to. I'm like, So aftermath, they give Kyle a happy birthday and a cake in a moment. And then afterwards, they start to talk about things that, I guess, issues that still exist. Rinna basically says that she was triggered by what Sutton said, and just basically says there are bigger issues. Kyle asks, what issues are those? And from that point, we get a whole round table of what's going on. So Crystal speaks up about the eating disorder. She talks about that, says that she has been getting help for a very long time. And Kyle tells her, well, girl, you must have been getting no good help. Because if you did, if you were, then, I mean, where's the progress? At least that's what I got from it. And then, Crystal speaks to it and just kind of, she really don't say much from it. I mean, she just speaks to already having help, and Erika gives her 2 cents, and Erika just says they all kind of double down on what they were saying. They really didn't take away they didn't change what they said. So then from that, Sutton brings up the liability comment again. And, before she talks about, I guess before she gets to her point, she brings up that she has been reached out to by an attorney, and now she has to get an attorney based off of the comments because she has somehow been clumped in with one of the lawsuits that, of course, Erika has many. She shares that, listen, she has many lawsuits, but the point she's trying to make is that Erika is the liability. That's the point she wants to make. Do we feel like she got her point across in this moment?
She better than she has in the past.
Okay.
Better than she has in the past, but she still let Erika ruffle her up a little bit and kind of trip her up. It took her a while to get there. She's kind of like me. Like, we have a point. It just kind of takes us a little time to get to where we need to land on.
A little time?
A little?
Maybe. Next question.
So first, Cortez, when you said that I said Rinna can, use it as long as she needs to, I want to publicly retract that back because this episode I got sick of it already.
Whoa. Wait, now you tired 7 days later.
Yeah, okay. 7 days. I'm tired.
Okay, welcome to the team.
Yeah.
Danny was probably tired the next day. He probably thought about it. Was like, you know what? Never mind, bitch. I hate it.
But no, So I think that Sutton, whether she did or didn't get her point across, it would not matter to these group of ladies because they would not hear her. They're not going to change their mind. They're not going to say Erika's a liability. Sutton is still going to be the liability no matter who she makes the point across to.
Yeah. I mean, and the point wasn't even her being a liability. These ladies do not care about a friendship with Garcelle in any way, shape, or form. This is Garcelle's third season now. If you genuinely wanted to be her friend, you would have been her friend back in her first season
before
when Sutton was a damn part-time.
I'm tired of all these stipulations to this is what you got to do to be in our friend circle. This is getting old, and it's like clearly y'all didn't listen to what she said last year, and it's getting very like ill. Like it's not even fun to watch. Like y'all are not the it girls. I'm sorry. Like y'all have issues, a lot of problems going on right now, especially one in particular. So why would anybody want to do all these things to be friends with y'all? Like, what are the benefits of being friends with Erika?
What's the trade-off? Like, can I drop Erika Jew's name at a restaurant?
All you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be picking up tabs.
Ooh. Picking up tabs and just blindly doing this. Yep, I agree. Yeah, I agree. That's it. Because that's all they do. It's getting old.
It's a narrative they're trying to push, and I really, really wish Garcelle got almost to it tonight, but just telling them to shut the fuck up.
Garcelle showed up at that.
She showed up
because, baby, when I don't know if you were going to cover that with how her and Rinna went back and forth. Did you get to that yet or no?
Which part?
When in the beginning, when Garcelle and Rinna went back and forth.
It's coming.
Okay.
Right before that, of course, to go along with this, Erika's upset. She's like, I told you to be quiet. I told you to shut your mouth and all these things. And Sutton is talking. But Doree, she's still looking for her camera time because she ain't got shit going on other than alleged DUI. She said she turns to Sutton and she asks Sutton, do you think that you are do you think that you're the only one that got reached out to because you had a lot of questions about what Erika had going on last year? Garcelle says, I'm not trying to be her mouthpiece, but she is not the only person that had questions about last year. And so they show these flashbacks of Kyle, Doree, everybody giving verbal concerns, you know what I'm saying, about it, which kind of proved a point. And before anything can go from there, Diana turns to Garcelle and just says that she's guarded and that she's had to work really hard to be friends with her of anybody in the group and has gotten anywhere. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was confused on where this came from. Like, what did Diana have to do with anything of this at all? I don't get it, but please help me understand.
I was so thankful for Garcelle's reaction because it really echoed how I felt.
She said, how the hell did we get here?
It was like, what?
Yeah.
This is also the third time that Diana has inserted herself in a conversation, completely changed the topic of the conversation in order to place blame on somebody else for situations that are going on, all the while saying Sutton is clumsy with words and sticking her nose in people's business and where she's not wanted. And I'm like, lady, the call is coming from inside the house. The 900 number is ringing in your bedroom. I need you to pick up the phone and mind your business. I almost forgot that she was there, to be 100% honest. Until
I think she forgot she was there and she decided, oh shit, let me say something. Like she forgot she was there. That's the whole thing. Because I'm like, this has nothing to do with any of it. But from this particular comment, kudos to her for giving us this other moment of Garcelle. Because once she speaks on how she feels, Garcelle receives it and just basically, I'll say Diana is confused. She's trying to say how she hasn't gotten close to Garcelle, but like Garcelle has said many times, I haven't seen you, you haven't reached out, or vice versa. Like, where is this effort that you're speaking on? You know what I'm saying? Like, so how do you expect us to be friends? Like, you specifically are not doing anything for it. And then you, even though they had a conversation last time, like Garcelle said, she didn't apologize for the text. She didn't apologize for the book, bringing the book. What was it? Yeah, bringing her book to her event. So these are things she didn't do. And so after she expresses that, Rinna says, do you hear her? And Garcelle is like,
that pissed me off. That was so condescending. That was so condescending.
But I'm laughing at Garcelle's response. She says, well, I don't know. What the hell you hear? Like, tell me what you hear. And I was like, yes, girl, get her. And
I guess
go ahead.
those moments piss me off because they get mad at Garcelle for being Sutton's mouthpiece, but then want to be mouthpieces for others.
Exactly.
It's
And
so
it's stuff like
draining.
that shows when Rinna does that and when Kyle do that, it is so very much they're trying to get the conversation back on the script that they discussed before the scene. If it deviates, I'm going to insert and I'm going to drive the conversation to where I want to go. And it's blatant and it's very obvious. And I'm glad finally that Garcelle directed that energy back at Rinna, because it's like, girl, please shut the fuck up. Like,
Yes,
just
but
shut up.
Just shut up.
How does that? Well, why would you talk to me like that? Oh, girl.
And when Kathy bust out laughing,
I'm gonna tell you what I liked the most in this scene. I liked how Garcelle said, "You're asking about her. What about me? Like, you haven't asked me. Like, you haven't. You're questioning my sincerity and what my intentions. Saying I'm defensive. Like, no one." She says she turns it on Rinna and says, "What about you? Like, you're not asking about me, but she says the entire group." And it kind of circles back to what happened last year. Like, this group is she's just kind of still an outsider, which I will say she shines a lot in this season. And I feel like when she's not there, her presence is missed. But I guess when you're actually in the moment, she still is an outsider. She's not within the majority. And
I think that us as viewers, we can see that Garcelle does not need the other group. But I think obviously when you're filming with people 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and you have that residual feeling, it feels like an outsider. But us as viewers is like, girl, you and Sutton are running the show. Fuck these other bitches. Like, really, fuck these other bitches. So I can get it. It's frustrating. I want her to let that go and just be like, look, y'all had 2 years to get to know me. Here we are.
Dan, did you have any thoughts on that part?
No, I'm just glad she, gave her the energy back that she deserved and didn't give her no pass.
Well, the best energy she gave was when she did talk to Diana, and she was like, "Was that good enough for you?" And Rinna was like, "I don't like the way you said that." I'm just like, girl, Rinna, shut that. Rinna at this moment, she is a bit unstable. Like, she's kind of going over the entire episode and last. She's going like between. She is a bit aggressive, then she calms down about it. She's playing a role that I'm not really enjoying.
That's why I love when
she looks desperate.
She looks very desperate, like she's trying to be she's acting like a bit of a sociopath. I'll just say that in a sense. That's just my.
Yeah, I was very glad when Garcelle asked her back, "How does that make you feel, Rinna?"
Yeah, Rinna didn't like it. Rinna did not like it, and I'm glad that Garcelle was handling them really well. I'm really glad she did.
She was playing tennis, baby.
Right. With their wigs, all of them, the whole group, and then Sutton was quiet the whole time. She didn't need Sutton, she didn't need nobody else. I loved it. I wish Chase was here to say whether or not he felt like Garcelle came through, because Chase and Sasuke don't be giving Garcelle.
Sasuke, how does that make you feel? How did this make you feel, Sasuke?
Let us know how Garcelle is performing thus far. Did she show up today? Or let me know. All right, so then after that, we get a scene with Crystal and her husband, and she just basically falls into the same web of, I'm trying to impress these girls, I'm trying to fit in with these girls. But as it relates to her eating disorder, she says that she feels like, she has to answer to them, and she's doing it for them. And I'm just like, all right, girl, like we could have told you this last season. You've been trying to fit in for the longest within this group. Pick me. Crystal, pick me. What's her name? What's her last name? Anybody know her last name?
Mikoff.
Crystal, pick me.
Kong Mikoff.
Whatever it is. But did y'all catch her husband say it's time for us to find you someone to talk about it with?
Yeah.
And I'm like, did she say she was already getting help? Or am I just confused here?
I think maybe he could possibly be talking like friends, like somebody that she can actually like not have to play this kind of like emotional chess the way she's been playing with these girls. Because then she's saying to the screen, she was like, I don't want to do anything strictly because these girls are the one that are telling me to do that. I think he probably sees that she is putting more stock in a friendship with these coworkers than what she's getting back. And she's like, girl, I need you. You done cut off 15 friends, or 15 friends cut you off. It's maybe time you find a real friend.
But you do know that he didn't even know that he didn't know anything about, I guess, that post and all of that until he saw it online too. So I don't know. I mean, I said
well, his comments. He said that shocked me because you usually don't talk openly about it. Like you're not discussing it. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's like not going to therapy. I took that.
I don't think she ever got help. Honestly, I think she's lying about that.
I'm with you, Cortez, because also what she said was, "I'm gonna deal with it on my own time, not when these girls tell me I need to."
That's true.
So it doesn't seem like she's. It doesn't,
Maybe she was working this storyline, and then in this very moment right here, I said, "This bitch lying." I'm sorry, she ain't getting no help. I'm not saying she lying about the eating disorder. That's real. But in terms of has she gotten help? Nope. I don't believe it no more.
I could see it. Well, and then the sad part is there's really not a single person on the cast other than Sutton that probably cares that she's actually genuinely going through that. And here she is, on a show with these women discussing her health, and none of them really care enough to step up and be like, no, we really are concerned about this, except the one lady that she tried to oust from the group 10 episodes ago. And did you see during that scene, Sutton was the one that came over and was hugging Crystal earlier at the dinner when Crystal was crying because she lost her dad. Sutton was the one consoling Crystal. Yeah. Nobody else was concerned about
Crystal
that.
Ain't the only one that forgot to act like she's still having an issue because, baby, Dorit has forgotten to be traumatized about her
she's
robbery.
in that house. She's in that house throwing parties.
But I'm glad. Please don't bring. I don't want to hear nothing about this robbery. I think the DUI thing took over. And I think she thought that was going to take off, but actually both of them were very flat. And I don't really need her on my screen for either one of them. I'm just saying.
As much as I've tried to defend.
Thank you for sharing that, Sasuke. I know you didn't have to.
You know what? I've read this completely wrong. So I see now. Yes, thank you for sharing that. I read it as you were saying individuals who have it usually don't, but I didn't even see that I had. Okay, Sasuke, that's very bold of you to say as well.
It's stuff like that, those little moments of Crystal showing who she is that make me want to like her, but I think at this point it's just like
Obi said Crystal be posting food recipes and stuff on her page. I ain't finna get into that.
No, yeah.
We moving on. But I will say
Toothless and homeless. Next topic.
The best part of this scene was Kathy asking for crackers and a giant Coke and a napkin. And I loved it was so random. She was just like, we support you, we got you, and then you got some crackers.
I thought she was being shady because they were talking about her eating disorder. And then I thought it was very much Kim, have a piece of bread. And so when she said, do you have crackers? I was like,
no. What got me was she said, this all I get for driving all the way over here?
Baby, listen, Crystal said, please come film with me, somebody. And Kathy said, all right, girl, I'll go. Come on. Shit.
I really felt bad. I felt bad for her
over there.
The lady. Every time I see Crystal filming, I feel bad.
Nobody else wanted to hear about it. I mean, I found like they don't have a relationship. So when it was Kathy, I'm like, this who she chose to film this with?
Kathy came on last season as a friend of Crystal's. I mean, obviously she was Kyle's sister, but she knew Crystal last season was what they were saying. Couldn't tell that from the way that they interact with each other.
You would never know that, right?
Never know that.
No.
Never know that.
All right. So then we get scene with Kyle and her family. Kyle gets some skates. I didn't know Kyle was a skater in the past, but
I was hoping she would fall. I was like, oh.
Well, she didn't fall. She did not fall. But after that, we get a scene with Erika and Rinna. And this whole scene is just another, here are all the reasons why I don't like Sutton. Here are all the reasons why, like I'm having an issue with her. And they basically share like what their triggers are. And Rinna, she asks Erika, why does she think Sutton said the whole thing about the liability? And I don't know why she was confused, because Erika even explains it to her and says like, well, she's saying that, because she basically saying, she explains to her that she thinks she's a liability. And so she shouldn't use that word for her. That's what she's trying to say, make a point. And that's kind of what Sutton does a lot. She said last year, even with the whole thing with Garcelle, how she talked about, well, Rinna didn't give me a thank you. So here's why she, what I'm saying? So it seems like she has a pattern of how she proves her points. And they kind of end on a note of saying sometimes they enjoy Sutton and sometimes they don't. Any thoughts on this scene?
No, they're fake.
No.
Fake as fuck. Rinna was just cussing her out the night before. Then she was sitting there saying, I love her. Oh God, when she's fun, she's fun. But also she gets on my nerves. And then in the next scene, she's screaming at her randomly, own your shit, Sutton. I'm like, girl, It must suck to have Sutton be your storyline. It must really suck that that's the only thing going on.
Yeah,
And
Sutton dragging you publicly.
And with the whole liability thing, what bothers me about that is when Erika clarifies what she means, that she's a liability because they can't get to know Garcelle. That's not what a liability is.
Yeah. These are big words for Elmo.
Every episode there is a word, and this is
an obstacle. She's a roadblock. She's a wall. So many other things you could say.
Yeah,
liability is like we're going to be friends with Garcelle until Sutton fucks up, and then we're done with Garcelle. Like,
right?
That's not a friend, bitch.
Or she's bringing you down. You need liability.
I hate both of them.
I don't think I need anything to discuss from Sutton and Kyle's conversation because it's just Kyle being fake. Unless you have some, go ahead, share, Daddy. But they had a conversation for those that didn't watch the episode, basically where Kyle is trying to get more clarity on why Sutton made the liability point. Go ahead, Danny.
No, I just wanted to say that I'm no longer going to feel sorry for Sutton every time Kyle backstabs her, because and what is it going to take for Sutton to realize that Kyle is not her fucking friend?
I stopped saying it 3 episodes ago. I'm like, I can't. I can't.
Because Kyle will always how she craves acceptance. Like, I don't know if she thinks Kyle is the queen bee and that's her ticket to come back next season. I just don't know.
Sutton is naive. Sutton genuinely thinks like, okay, well,
no, she's not, in the sense like she socks it where she needs to, and she attacks where she needs to. She's not naive. She tiptoes around Kyle.
Yeah. It's so aggravating because in the same breath, Kyle will wrap it up at the end of the conversation like, I love you. Oh God, I love Sutton, but it's like, but you're continuously setting this woman up or putting this woman in situations where she's literally windmilling for her life in a group of your friends. Like, my God, Kyle. Like, and Sutton's just a Southern Georgia peach. She's gonna sit there and she's gonna take it.
She's gonna sit there and say, "Oh, Kyle, I love you."
Kyle, you're not being nice right now. Like, oh my, like I love her to death. Sutton. I just wanted to say, fuck you, girl.
Kyle love in here. TKC said Kyle is queen. Oh, it's TKC. Never mind.
He don't really like that. He's just saying that because everybody don't like her.
He's trying to get me pissed off.
TKC like Robin Dixon.
Not Robin Dixon.
Robin Dixon. So that shows you, child. All right. So let's get to this actual Studio 54 launch party, Rinna's lunch party. So she's having a redo from last year, party. And it's a themed party. I will say, who do y'all think dressed the best? Pick 3 people of the group that look good in terms of the theme.
I like Garcelle.
Loved it.
I actually did like Erika.
I like Cherise. Was that was Cherie, right? Was that Cherie with the little thing on her head?
The longer hair? Yeah, that was Cherie.
She had like a little. I think it was her.
Yeah,
that was Cherie. I like Cherie.
Yeah, Dorit looked gorgeous. I didn't see.
I was gonna say
I didn't see no skating rink or disco.
She was at Studio 5. She went at Studio 54.
Now, can I tell you who was the worst?
Go ahead.
Sutton showed up in a cocktail dress.
Sutton showed up in a lace doily.
A lace doily and little hair. My girl.
Let's see.
I did enjoy Kyle and Dorit taking the bronzer a shade or 2 darker. For the occasion.
You're not saying they was in blackface, are you saying?
I would never accuse anybody of that, but I adjusted the color on my TV because I thought it fucked up.
Rinna looked like she was appropriating too, but I'm not gonna.
Rinna looked like Luann when she walked in dressed as Diana Ross.
Rinna,
like she was my color.
Pushing a line. I ain't gonna pushing a line. But I love Erika. I think Erika kept it very.
Erika looked so good to me.
If Erika does anything, she's going to show up to a costume party.
But one thing, Erika, she's not really one of those like, let me go get tan type girls. Like we saw her at the reunion last year. She looked like
without makeup. She just want to get one
color. Right.
But I really thought Erika looked the best out of everybody to me today.
Okay,
she looked good.
I really do. Her hair and everything, it sucked.
Somebody must have bought some of them bundles because the checks came in. She was able to splurge a little bit on glam. She looked good.
She borrowed
it's some person out there toothless because she took some money from that plate.
And homeless.
All right. So I'm gonna say the first thing that gagged me outside of just the looks was Garcelle saying that she tried to do coke and telling it on damn TV.
And when the whole thing I said, Garcelle, you did not drop that plate. You know damn well you did some coke. It's
baby, she
allegedly. You
did.
You
baby,
did
Garcelle did that fucking coke.
She did that coke.
My show was like, first of all, okay, it's bold enough for you to reveal that you were trying to, but baby, you know you did.
She dropped the plate. She got nervous and dropped it.
Okay. The coke set in and she had to shake
off the ground. That's what she did, off the ground. But Kyle, after that, Kyle announces the trip to Aspen. And then they kind of talk a little bit about Rick and Kathy. Kathy talking about Rick, blah, blah, blah. Once they sit down, Kyle asks Sutton to basically, she asked about the conversation the other day. And in this moment, Kathy actually tries to stop her. Kathy is like, she says something. I forgot what she said specifically, but Kyle's trying to push her away. And Kyle was like, no, she's trying to speak. And Kathy's like, all right, girl, let me just go. So she ended up leaving. And Kyle gets away. Then at that moment, Kyle calls Erika over. And Erika basically said, so they talk about the liability, and Erika explains why she made the liability comment. Like Danny said earlier, what she's trying to say is she is a blocker. She is a roadblock. She is a hindrance. And she uses Garcelle and says that this is the reason why her and Garcelle can't be close or closer friends is because of Sutton. She said that is not the word use. That's not the use of damn liability. First of all, hope Erika finds it out while she's out in jail or wherever she goes. But
they have libraries there.
I love how Garcelle is just like, girl, we're not friends. Like, even like if that's one thing, like, have you not looked in the group? I'm not really friends with half of y'all. I'm glad she acknowledges that. She knows that. She knows that not only is it with Erika, Dorit, Kyle, that whole Fox group.
And she doesn't care. It was the tone of the voice that said, girl, I don't care. That is my friend.
She's made peace with it, and she, like she says, is that like you can't expect me to not defend my friend. You know what I'm saying? It's not really about us
for each other. That's what's puzzling.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so from that moment, Dorit and Rinna point out that when Sutton said that Erika had a lot of lawsuits, they thought that was very mean and nasty to say. So I'll stop there. And I just love this. I'm sorry, I did chuckle a little bit when Rinna was like, have your own back, Sutton Strack. I was like, because I wasn't looking at the TV, I was listening, and I said, what the hell is going on? Like, give me your thoughts on this.
It was so random.
It was so random.
Mention when Kathy was talking about Rick, that's his name, Rick?
Yeah.
It was funny how, she mentions you got to be careful what you say because you could be canceled. And then we hear about all this stuff that's going to come out later, about trying to get her canceled. I just thought it was like a foreboding moment. But I just think that, I love how, Erika said you'd be the last to know because we're friends, and Erika and Garcelle said, yes, you've made that perfectly clear. Like,
she said, you say it every other
why would that even, how do you tell somebody that you want, that you feel like is trying to be friends with you? Like, it's such a weird, like,
in one breath you say your friend is a hindrance to our friendship, but
right, as if you're trying, but then you're saying like you're the last to know. It's like, it's a weird, it's conflicting.
Now, Garcelle talking about it with the girls and separately. I think Garcelle was trying to find somebody who was going to be honest about what was happening instead of just taking up for and blindly, you know what I mean?
Like, she had Dorit, like it was this close.
And she was trying to get someone, she wasn't on a tour to smear her. She was trying to get somebody to be honest.
And that's why she's told Dorit, don't be like Kyle. Don't do that. Don't make excuses. Don't gloss it over. Are you concerned or are you not? Yeah. And I had so much, like, Dorit is literally right there on the fence. She's deciding whether or not she wants to jump ship or she wants to stay with the Fox Sports.
She made her decision.
And then this episode, she just reeled herself back in. And I was like,
Dorit is never on the fence. Dorit fishes a little bit to get you to say more so she can take back to the group.
You think she's not smart?
She is you know what? Let me ask y'all this. Who do y'all think, and we're going to talk about this part next, but who do y'all think is the person that got Erika all riled up about what Garcelle was talking about? Between
Rinna.
Kyle or Dorit, who do you think was?
Dorit. I think it was Rinna. They talked to Rinna, and Rinna is the one that just won't let it die. Rinna's the one that kept bringing it up. That's going to do. It's been Rinna for Diana, for Erika this entire season.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's Dorit. I feel like Dorit has been doing a lot of behind the scenes shit. I really feel like she's been kind of the one, because I mean it shows. And let's continue talking about it when we get to it. So after this, you know, Kyle kind of goes again, and she says that Rinna had strong feelings about Sutton. And Rinna once again blames her inconsistencies, her reactions on her grieving, her on Lois. You know, the one thing that Danny said was okay last week.
No, it burned me. I want to channel.
But she blames
I know Lois is in heaven, just like girl,
Lois
please,
is
can I rest
around.
Can I rest in peace?
No,
like,
Lois is saying this. Now, why am I in it?
Now, how am I in
it? Lois. So after she does that, you know, Sutton is kind of confused at this point. So what she does is she tries to rephrase, I guess, the way that she used liability and why she was using that example last time, but she just completely loses it and just kind of gets stuck. And right afterwards, Erika says, and I'm the one with a drinking problem. And I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna lie.
She kind of gagged her a little bit. That was cute.
You see Erika in the sentence and she thinks she turned it. Like, it's so...
You know what? Every time she laughs after a comment, she thinks she turned it. Like, she thinks she turned it. And it's like, it's sad because it's like,
and then that's what turns me off.
We're laughing at you, honey.
And it's
crickets. You should have left it. You should have left it at the comment, and that's it. I would have got a chuckle. But then your reaction after got me like, oh. She does the... Never mind. We're good. We're good.
Is that how you do it? Is that how you sound? Like, damn, no. But she just allow other people to laugh at your laughs. That's the thing. Like, don't.
Did we bypass the
Toothless and homeless? We did.
No,
we blew right past it. Oh, okay. That's a separate topic.
I mean, we could talk about it at that point, because right before the whole thing, yes, they were talking about the Toothless and homeless. Doritos is upset about this charity night. The funny thing is, last week when we reviewed this, we talked about how it was kind of cringy. I think people in the chat were saying the same thing. So it's very funny seeing the cast kind of be like, that's an awful name. But Dorito did not like it.
Oh, she was mad.
Doritos did not like it. She was mad. Baby,
Kathy was falling out.
Baby, Kathy said, I've worked with the homeless and I've worked with the toothless. Shit, what is it? I was like, it was
for me. It was after the montage of all of the ladies making fun of the name. It was Sutton looking dead at the camera saying they should consider changing that organization's name.
What bothered me again was it wasn't just Garcelle laughing, but who did Dorit
go friends.
But
her
who
friends
did go to?
Oh, she didn't get mad at her friends. Kyle was falling out. Kyle was falling out. She was the main one in the confessional, purposely fucking it up. Like,
if Kathy could not get up behind that, she would have.
Exactly.
But she attacked Garcelle.
Yep.
She did. And
that was Garcelle, so weird because Kathy was the one doing it. Like, Garcelle just kind of chuckled and she was like, Garcelle, it's not funny. I'm like,
so after Erika makes the comment where she laughs at herself, this is her way of inserting how she wants to address Garcelle. And so she turns to Garcelle and basically questions her sincerity as to how she feels about her drinking problem. And she mentions that she's been going around and talking to everybody, not talking to her. And she feels like if she had a problem, she should have come to her. I think the exact comment Erika said was, if I had a problem, like, this is what she said, you'd be the last to know because I'm closer to them. And I'm like, I didn't feel like that was an appropriate thing to say, which we talked about. And it doesn't, like, Erika just doesn't feel like it's coming from a helpful place. So I want to ask y'all, do you think Garcelle is coming from a helpful and sincere place? Or is she just doing it because she don't like the hoe?
Well, we've talked about that before.
50-50.
I think, like, probably like the first time when she's on a boat, she's like, girl, you're acting a damn fool in front of these cameras. Then she yelled at her kids and she was like, all right, bitch, let's put this on pause. What's going on? What are you going through? Then it was the Christmas party. So it's like, hey, and Garcelle even went to these ladies and I think she told Kyle, she was like, y'all are her friends. Y'all know her. I don't. Like, what the fuck's going on? Y'all got to tell her something.
I think she also wanted someone, she wanted to hear from someone else too. I think that Garcelle was out of line that Erica was out of line for how she addressed her kid. Versus people saying she deserved to pass. I think she wanted to hear that from somebody else because Kyle tried to give her a pass.
Yep.
So I think that's why she went to the next person.
Yep. Well, and and Garcelle is smart. We've seen Garcelle produce and do things throughout the season. I agree with you 100%, Danny. She's trying to find somebody who will be, man enough to stand up and be like, yeah, she's acting a damn fool. But she's probably also being like, who am I going to be dealing with going through this fucking season if y'all can't even call a spade at this point?
And she talked to Erica about it too.
Well, and
she did. She talked to Erica about it.
She did have to sit down with Erica about it.
She said, "Why wouldn't you come to me?" I did, bitch.
I feel like Erica must have forgot the thing.
She was drunk.
She was drunk.
She hit her head. I mean, she cussed crazy, whatever, to her son. Honestly, like we said a couple weeks ago, you say something to my child. I don't got no kids at all. But to my child, I'm coming at you in any kind of way. And so, yes, I may not be genuinely concerned about your ass, but am I going to bring it up? Yes, she got a drinking problem. Jamie got a drinking problem. That's going to be me.
Absolutely.
Because I don't like you.
I don't think her concern is kind of like, oh my God, we have to do something to help Erica. It's more like, girl, your friend looks a fucking fool on TV. Like,
she's a
what's going on over there? She's a liability.
Well, I'm glad that she, was able to pinpoint everything. And she said, my concern was that you were mixing the pills. You were mixing pills and alcohol. And she says, like, Erika asks, are you doing that? Are you doing it to make me look bad? And Garcelle says, I ain't gotta make you look bad. You did it on your own. And I said, ooh.
There she is. She clocked in. There it is.
I said, Garcelle. Let me finish, Garcelle.
Baby, Rinna and Kyle, jaws dropped.
Yeah, I got the crystal.
Oh yeah. I'm glad. And then it came to a point to where Erika is like, let me self-destruct myself. And then Garcelle was like, just baby, destruct. Ruin your own life. Like, I'm done with it. And I like that she said that because at this moment, I would expect Garcelle not to give any two shits to her ass in terms of anything about, like, that's it. I love that moment. Garcelle, she got a child. And she got
a Laomi for me.
She did. And I didn't know how Erika was going to respond. Erika does have a slick mouth. But baby, she got nothing to say.
It was right here. She couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
It's funny here when Kathy said, come on, guys, we're supposed to be blah, blah, blah. And here comes Doritos. But we have to have an honest moment too, Kathy.
Yeah. Doritos,
I caught Garcelle
having an honest moment when it doesn't involve her having to be honest.
Garcelle leaned over and Kathy's like, we're supposed to be friends or we're supposed to uplift each other. And Garcelle said, not in this group. And I also clocked whenever Dorit was like, Garcelle, you need to be honest. You kept yelling at me. Don't be Kyle. Don't be Kyle. Kyle kind of looked around and Kathy didn't say shit. Kathy was like,
what do y'all think the reason for Erika calling her rebuttal to Garcelle was that she's a liar? What is she lying about?
She thinks Garcelle is not being honest for the reason as to why she's asking the women.
Oh. Okay.
It's a very convoluted stream of consciousness, as it happens when Quaaludes are in your system mixed with vodka. Like, I don't think she even knows. Like, it's just word vomit at this point. Because Garcelle got her. Garcelle got her in front of her friends.
It is. Like, Sebastian,
her friends didn't come up.
He says, I love the way that Garcelle set up after Erika said, like I will say Garcelle, her whole demeanor in that scene, I will say this entire episode, when she was approached or had to confront somebody or confronted, she set up, like, she leaned in. She leaned the fuck in. And I felt like I love that energy. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't needy. It was actually perfect. So,
but if she was aggressive, I would have still been on her side because it would have been.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you know how some people feel like, she's not that type of person. It was the way Garcelle is going to react. I don't think we're gonna get any more.
Her reaction tonight, I think, kind of showed Garcelle's character. She really is a protector. of her family, of her friends. And she said tonight, why would, like when she was talking with Diana and Lisa, why would I want to be friends with y'all after I seen the way that you've treated my friends, or excuse me, Diana and Erika? Like they keep saying you're Sutton's mouthpiece, as if Sutton needs Garcelle, but Sutton has never ever asked Garcelle to back her up. That's just in Garcelle's character. If I see you acting a fool to somebody that I genuinely care about, I'm gonna say some shit. And Garcelle stood the fuck up and showed like, I can handle my damn self. I can handle you with her, and y'all ain't got shit to say about it.
Big Sale. Big Sale. You'll call her Big Sale for this episode because she did show up. Now I'm gonna tell you where I got irritated. I will say I feel the whole "Don't Be Kyle" thing with Dorit. That's why I think Dorit is the real snake here. Honestly, I think she is the one that's doing a lot of this because she's so verbal in these moments that when she's really not even that present for. Honestly, and those are the people you got to watch out. But what irritated me the most was afterwards, Sutton saying, "I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you," and she did that bullshit to allow Erika to say, "Please don't." And this is why this is why Sutton getting on my goddamn nerves because, girl, in this moment, just let the moment be.
But it was
do not do. She could just not say nothing. But
that's because Kyle said y'all need to reset. Erika and Sutton, y'all just need to reset. And that's when Sutton was like, I'm going to have a conversation with you away from
Stop letting Kyle produce her, number one.
If I was Sutton, I'd been like, I'm good. I don't need it.
Why would she give Kyle and Erika the satisfaction? She should have just been like, listen, she could even say, I'm going to think on it. But girl, you sat up here and you just said, I'm going to call you. And you allowed this girl to treat you the way she did. I'm good. Please
I do appreciate Sutton's smirk after Erika said that, though.
Yeah. Sutton peeps game. She just doesn't respond to it, which I'm like, girl, tell this woman to fuck off. Tell this woman to shove this apology up her ass. Like she continues to let Lisa and Erika just volley her back and forth like a dog with
they take Sutton's little pig legs and just throw them. Just
stop that.
Right. Her little legs just go.
Not too much. Not too much.
But the most funniest moment after this was Kathy. Kathy circled back and said, I mean, I don't understand why she was mad at me. I don't know if it was toothless or was it homeless. And I mean, she was pissed.
Toothless Association.
Kathy said, now why did I get called out? Kathy was mad.
Yeah, it was very much so like when you in school and you be like, but I want the only one talking.
Very bad.
I don't know. Kathy had me hollering this episode. It reminds me of when we first met Kathy. She was so funny. So,
no, Kathy, I feel like Kathy showed up this episode to make up for all the ones she wasn't a part of.
Yeah.
she made up for it tonight.
And really seeing how she interacts, I don't think she likes any of those bitches. I think she genuinely likes Garcelle and Sutton because those are the two. Sister. She don't like her sister. She really, every time Erika comes up and hugs her, she's like, hi. Dorit be falling all over her. She don't like Dorit.
She's always
really likes
close to Garcelle.
Always close to Garcelle.
Always close to Garcelle. That's true.
Always close to Garcelle.
Although she was that, Garcelle's event was the only event she didn't make last season.
Now, if she calls Garcelle precious, I don't have a problem. But
if she calls Garcelle Drew Sidora or Candy,
now why the hell would she know Drew Sidora's
Well,
name?
I'm just saying this is the mind of
Ralph don't even know Drew Sidora's name.
Baby, if she saw you, she probably call you Ricky Martin. That's what she. And what you gonna say?
She gonna call Jamie Yolanda.
Right. I cannot.
Too far. Rein it back in.
Yeah.
Don't be a Kyle.
Did y'all have any other thoughts on this whole scene? It was a good scene. It was a really good episode and scene. I do think Garcelle came out on top. And it looks like in next week's episode, she tells her, yes, I unfollowed you. I don't want to be your friend, bitch.
that had excited me. You hear me?
Yes.
I got excited.
I like that kind of energy because it's reality TV. It's not often that people like they'll do stuff like that, but I feel like they always turn around because they have to film. I truly feel like going forward, Erika is not going to give. I'm sorry, Garcelle's not going to give Erika.
Well, she hasn't. It's been a year since that episode was filmed.
She's been friendly, nasty, friendly this whole season. But now I think she's gonna be like, I don't fuck with that hoe.
Off the show, she hasn't given her an ounce of nothing in interviews. That's why Erika's throwing her book in the trash. She be shading her all over the place. And I mean, one part of me was like, girl, she called you a liar, and that's why you unfriended her now when she cut your kid out. But I think that was just the last straw. She was like, girl, I don't want to fuck with this bitch at all.
And I love it.
I'm sorry. I was upset though in the preview for next week that it looks like Diane and Garcelle have a one-on-one meeting.
I don't like it. Oh, I don't want it.
It looked like she was in her house. Like, why would you let that lit liquor in your house?
Better sage the shit out of that.
She let that serpent in her house.
That
I don't understand. It's a lot, but I am excited for next week. Well, I'm excited for the trip. Next week seemed a little light, but we do know that a lot of drama comes from this Aspen trip.
I can't wait for Rachel's Kathy.
Excited for it, especially because it's Kathy's about to be really involved. Rinna's about to try to turn. Well, I mean, Kathy and it ain't gonna be hard to turn Kathy and Kyle because it's already correct. It's gonna be like that regardless, but I'm excited for it. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get ready for some of our callers. As Obi just said, well, it was 201 people in the chat. It's 190 right now. But make sure y'all hit that like button right now. If you're watching, just hit the little thumbs up and like this video. Or you can hit the thumbs down if you don't like the video. That's fine. That keeps it in the algorithm too. So with that being said, and also subscribe to the channel. Our first caller is going to be Mel. What's going on, Mel?
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
Hey.
Hi. You know what? This season for me, it feels almost like a scary movie where the last 15 minutes everything happens because it feels like it's so slow the whole season. Now we got the last bit of the season, and we're gonna get all the stuff. I will say for me, Kathy do give me, it was a show back in the day called Design Women. She gave me a little Bernice Clifton where she's always confused. And I feel like, with Kathy Hilton, she's the kind of woman who would show up to work on the weekend when the office is closed. So, she's always confused about something. So she definitely makes me laugh about that. With Erika, I get so frustrated with her because, with all her problems, nobody in the cast is responsible for none of her lawsuits, none of her issues. But yet she's always sitting in the scenes trying to say, well, you know what, you done me wrong. Nobody done you wrong in that cast. Like
nobody cares.
Nobody cares. They have observations and opinions. They don't have lawsuits against you. That's the people outside who your husband stole the money from. So I think that for me, she definitely I don't see why they sit there and even tolerate that. I think that's just annoying. And Dorit, with all the stuff going on around with her and her husband and with the homeless, and it looked like her husband had worse teeth than the homeless did. And it feels that it looks that way. And so now she was hailing from the alleged robbery, or whatever it was. And out of the blue, at the end of the season, you're going to show up and be the character you was last year. Because she was the same character last year at the table when she was yelling at Garcelle and all that. So that was just sort of a little, like she didn't. She never changed her spots, and she never changed her character. She sat around crying like she was so traumatized. But she's still the same. I think that the people in the chat said still snake in the grass. And yeah, with Sutton, I'm tired of Sutton going to these individual scenes with some of the ladies, whether it be Lisa Rinna or with Kyle, and saying, I'm sorry, you're right about this. No, when you're in those scenes with them, that's the time when you're not with all the Fox 5, 4, whatever they are. So you know what, girl, when I was over there, I didn't like you. You didn't do this correct. Why did you do this? This is when you really step to them and get them together. You don't sit there and let them say you were wrong, you were weak, you were. That's what all the scenes she does with these girls single. If it's not with Garcelle, the other ladies, she's always apologizing with them. I don't like that.
You're not the only one, Mel.
I completely agree. That's my first. Like for anyone watching, I do still like Sutton, but she just irritates the hell out of me. Hell, I'm a liability to this moment because I be want to pop her in her leg.
Maybe it's gonna break.
It might break if she didn't take another bone knee, but she needs her bones are too thin.
So not the Sally Field.
I would never. But I mean, Kyle hit her a couple times. She didn't break. So Kyle, she. No.
Kyle's weak herself. You know what? Yeah, the show has been. It was a sleeper. This whole season been sleeping, but now they waking up and. We shall see what happens next week or whatever. And I would say to Garcelle, you know what? At this point, just show up there and film your scenes, observe the ladies. Don't say, don't you agree with me? Don't do that because they don't agree with you. They just simply are stuck together, no matter if they robbed or have issues or what. It don't matter. They are together. It's not going to change. So just show up. If Bravo wants you to come back next year, just show up, observe. He'll play, be like Captain Hill, act like you don't know what's going on. Just have fun,
Right.
and collect your check. Don't engage, and that's it. And that's it.
Okay.
That's all I
Well,
have to say.
thank you for that, Mel, and we will talk to you next
Thank
time.
you,
Okay?
All righty.
All
Because
right.
the Fox Force seem to be more pissed off when Sutton and Garcelle are in their own little world having fun and they're not invited. That's when they get mad.
Right.
I gotta hop off in a little bit.
That's fine. JP Rob actually
it's
said that
fine.
there is no Real Housewives of Beverly Hills next week. They will resume in 2 weeks. So we will not be here either. So don't be Isabel. We won't be here. And speaking of Isabel, Isabel said, "Roll call, missing person again. Great show." Thank you, Isabel, for the super chat. Chase is out, but he is on vacation. He needs a vacation. Okay, he works hard up here.
Josh is tired.
All right, next call is going to be our Lisa. What's going on, Lisa?
Hey y'all, how y'all guys doing? Happy late
how you
birthday,
doing?
Jamie.
Thank you.
Yes, but anyhow, let's get started. So,
Okay.
yes, maybe I said happy birthday to you, and I know you did all the alcohol, baby. Now, okay, and I gave you a cross. Now let's move on.
Lisa, you couldn't
Okay?
in your time. It's about the show. You
I
talking
know
about his birthday.
that's what I'm trying to go with it. Okay,
Go.
I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go. Now, so, okay, let me tell you something. Now, I'm tired of all these girls, okay? Now, let me tell you something. They ain't real. I'm talking about Garcelle and Sutton ain't realized by now. These girls ain't stunning about y'all ass, okay? They never will be, and they not gonna be, okay? Do we? Yeah, and I really do believe Lisa Rinna hyped Erica up on all that bull, and she cut her shit out. That's why she got fired from the show, okay? Allegedly, she got fired from the show. That's what they say, and I'm glad she is gonna be gone. So I do believe Lisa Rinna hyped Erica up, and also I'm just saying when it comes to Garcelle and Erica, girl, draw me a bridge. I'm over, it, okay? Cause this
Okay.
girl, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. God said don't give two fucks, okay? About no damn Erica. Okay, you don't give a damn about you still mad that she said something to your goddamn son, okay? That's what you mad about. She told your son get the fuck up out of here, and you mad about that. And you have a right, but girl, it's been over with. She apologized, and now it's time to draw a bridge and to get over it, okay? Because you don't give two fucks about Erica. You don't give damn, and she sit on the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? If she died, and you probably do shed a tear or two. If somebody called tell she that she died, you probably shed like two tears. You don't go on with your life, okay? And so and I understand what the situation is because Lisa, Kyle, and Dorit, and they have been together, and Erica, they have been together for 7 years, okay? They've been together 7 years, so they know how each other works. Sudden and Garcia. Now Garcia, Garcia get on my nerves. Sometimes she know how to step into the moment. Sometimes she don't. Okay, now I believe like tonight she stepped into the moment and she took off. She like and she said, you
But
don't
she
want to mess up your own. And I ain't messing up your own end because that's on you. And so she stepped right in with that weed. When she read what it's gonna call it. She put it right on up in there. Then she know. I mean, sometimes she don't. So today, it's like it's okay. So I'm gonna give it uh hmm, probably a 3.
A 3 out of what?
the whole episode?
Uh-huh.
Out
It
of
won't
10
give me
or
it
out of
really won't
5?
give me nothing. It won't give me them outfits, girl, them disco outfits.
You
They ain't
need
gonna
what
sit
you
their
want
old
to
they ain't gonna
at
sit their
least.
old ass down some damn well. So come back and break a damn bone, okay?
Well, Lisa,
Oh,
what you need for it to be a 10?
Huh?
What you
I
need for it
don't
to be a
know.
10?
I don't know. I was not just feeling it. I guess was not feeling it.
makes sense. I mean, that's
I'm
fair.
just not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And Kathy get on my goddamn nerve. She ain't come the same Kathy like she was last season. I want that Kathy. I don't want no boring ass girl. You gotta be boring. Get your ass off the goddamn TV show.
Mm.
That's how I feel about that. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But now,
Okay.
yeah, that's it, baby doll. I love y'all. Y'all have
Thank you,
a
Lisa.
beautiful week. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. Jamie, once again, happy late birthday, baby. I hope you here drink all the alcohol, baby.
I
All
love you,
right,
And
let's
Mama.
next,
Thank
let's
you so
call it
much.
okay.
yes. So, anybody else have
Bye.
any birthdays?
Next month.
It's just me.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just me right now, Lisa. We're talking about me right now. It's fine.
All right,
get to
Lisa,
next
we'll
month.
let you
We'll
go.
get to
Okay.
next month.
Wait.
We'll get to September when we get to September.
Maybe I thought Lisa said Kathy she don't want Kathy to be boiling.
What somebody said Danny looked like he left the stove out. I cannot. All right, our last caller for today is going to be Kyra. What's going on, Kyra? What you got for us today?
Hi everyone, hi fam.
What's going on?
The other episodes were filler. Last episode was really filler, but we still got things out of the previous one. This episode,
what would you give this episode out of 10? Because I'm trying to see.
I would give it I would give it a 9. I would give it a 9.
Okay.
And in the sense, because it's also kind of like I feel like people don't really understand Housewives sometimes. Like every episode's not this epic battle. So I feel like this was a really good episode in the sense that like it wasn't something epic, but I got so much out of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was entertaining.
Yeah,
there was
and
comedy,
so I would give
there
it that.
was drama. It was cute.
Because that's why we ran into the issue of every episode has to be so dramatic. That way we have so many filler episodes to lead up to it. So I like that this was like, yeah, we're going to Aspen, but this episode I was very happy with. So the minutes I need. I am over these hoes because also I'm getting annoyed with people online acting obtuse. Like Erika was trying to warn Sutton to be quiet because she would be involved. Erika sat at that table from the episode Dinner from Hell saying, you think you're going to talk about someone and not get sued. And everyone lifted their eyebrow because it seemed like she was talking about Tom, Mr. Incompetent, was going to sue Sutton for talking about him. Let's not pretend like Erika was warning Sutton to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Erika was warning her that somehow, some way, Mr. Tom is going to sue Sutton on behalf of them, and yet he was supposed to be in a home. First thing. Second thing, Erika is a liability because I feel like people also forget how last season happened. Erika came on acting like her and Tom were so great. He can't wait to get in the office. They were home together, talking so much. And then all of a sudden, she got divorced and she started talking more than she ever talked before in the 6 years at that time that those women ever knew her. She was giving them details that they never knew about, 2 different accidents that all of a sudden happened a different way, all kinds of situations. Before those lawsuits happened, everyone else was going along with her stories. And then the lawsuits happened. And then Sutton and Garcelle were like, because she was using them to get ahead of the story. Because also people don't realize that before that season ever happened, before that divorce ever happened, Erika's in trouble because the fact is she was already being deposed for other lawsuits. So she knew what was going on. She had signed her name, signing over income for the law office. They would not take any before they gave it to the financiers for the law office. So she knew that either at least there's financial issues, and then they had issues with some of the lawsuits that Tom was in charge of because she was being deposed. And for people who don't know that, that's a part of Discovery where you come in and the lawyers get to ask you whatever to figure out what you don't know, what you do know, and who's involved.
She said for those who don't know, for those of y'all who are dumb.
Right. She said for those that don't know, because I knew. I didn't know.
I know we're intelligent, but it's because my thing is, I think it's like if you want to go up for Erika, okay, but go up for Erika on facts. Don't go up for Erika because you like some weird white woman trying to propagate as a black woman, and she's all cool and ice queen, but that only relied on money that was stolen, that she knew was stolen. Because I'm sorry, she knew too much because she was also in the lawsuits. They were talking about how she was on Watch What Happens Live on the reunion, lying about what was going on with those lawsuits. So why would you be lying about lawsuits that you didn't know about, that you were actually involved in? Anyway,
maybe she was lying about one lawsuit. I think she had so many that she just probably forgot to lie about the other ones too.
and also, like you guys made a great point. Also, can we stop pretending like these girls were trying to be great friends with Garcelle before Garcelle and Sutton got close? Like I never by that.
For a second.
They weren't.
First of all, I know some people like Garcelle could have handled the Kyle situation better. I think though Garcelle could not articulate that something about Kyle just rubs her the wrong way. But generally though, she was fine with Erika and Dorit, and then she had an issue with Rinna for Denise, and she had an issue with Erika. Obviously, when the lawsuits happened, but before that, her and Erika really didn't have an issue. She had an issue.
Well, she said it tonight's episode. She said, "I saw how she treated Sutton, who is my genuine friend. Why would I want to continue a relationship with you?"
And Jayne, as you said, we see her character because she even followed up with not even just a genuine friend. If I saw someone treating someone else like that, why would I try to be friends with them? Like that to me is also crazy. And then also, I think Sutton went. I'm with you, Jamie, in the sense that Sutton also didn't do a lot of tangents when she first came on, when she was just a friend of. And I think since she's been on here longer, she knows that these women are going to pick over her words. So I think now she's already an overthinker. So I think she's now thinking, just double time, because she knows they're going to pick on her words. And like
And it's
Danny
just
said,
talking.
yeah, and like Danny said, she just shouldn't care though, because like it's regardless of what she says, how coherent it is or not, they're still going to do it. But I think she's hyper aware of it, and so she's like just overtly doing it. But also, can we also remember at the beginning of the last season, Sutton is also the only one, not her friends of 6 years at the time, who was renting out spas for Miss Erica going through divorce, bringing her care packages, Miss Erica going through divorce, offered her a loan because she knew what it was to go through a divorce with a powerful man who she also helped build that money with, unlike Erica, and how you had to have someone backing you sometimes. Sutton was the only one offering all those things. I didn't see her friends offer her anything, taking her out anywhere, and not just digging for information on this marriage that no one knew anything about. Sutton took her out and didn't try to pry into her personal business. Just that I know you're going to divorce and it's hard. Let's go to a spa. Sutton was the only one. So for me, if you have me in your life and you're telling me all these stories, and now I come to find out, hey, this is weird because now these lawsuits are happening, and it seems like you're using me to lie to the public. Because you would be an idiot. We were all looking at these women like, I can only imagine people in their real lives how they look at those women, how they acted last season and this season, just acting obtuse, like they don't know anything that's going on. And Dirty Diana, Garcelle was the only one of the few who came to your party, had a gift for your child, sat down, you did your little olive branch, whatever. She cautiously accepted it. You guys haven't met each other since then. So you're talking about being guarded. Again, Garcelle was the only one asking her a personal question about her life that had nothing to do with her money. And what did she do? Jump into the ocean, got stung by a jellyfish. So I'm just trying to figure it all out. And I don't really care. I feel like also Erica's playing with us, like in the sense of, people also forget that part of Erica's apology to Garcelle was that, oh, she was drunk. She's mixing her medications. Okay, that's part of your excuse, and I accept it. And I put you on notice about you need to figure out your medication and alcohol, and you keep doing it. Then I get a right to say it because you're using it as an excuse before, and I accepted it. But it's no longer an excuse if you keep doing it. So, and she's right. Okay, destroy your life. And as you all said, Dorit is never on the fence. Dorit is in the after show, big upping and co-signing everything, every dumb thing that comes out of Erica's mouth. And the fact that you saw how she did a caricature of a Black woman, scream, Kyle, and then we see the flashback, and Garcelle's like, don't be Kyle. Like, what?
She did say it twice, but she did not yell like
that was such a complete.
Nobody yelled for Dorit. Dorit just be yelling, child. You know, keep yelling. But Kyra,
so that
one last
I know
caller.
you're going to go.
But thank you, right?
Bye.
All right. Our last caller, and before we lean out, and shout out to all the individuals that said this is their first time catching us. I think I saw a message from
There's a lot of new names.
Haley says new sub, enjoying the commentary. Mary, who came in a little late, but Mary said that she's gonna watch the replay. I love Mary, guys, especially Mary Crosby.
Mary.
We on board. But shout out to anybody that is new to our channel. We here every Wednesday for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Mondays for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Tuesdays for Married to Medicine. Plus, we have a lot of the shows that we recap to. So shout out to all the newbies to the league. Everybody who's been to the league for a while, welcome to the newbies. You gotta go, Jamie.
Yes, I gotta go. I love you guys. I'll see y'all in 2
weeks. Before you go, somebody want to say something to you. Go ahead.
Oh, girl, gotta go.
Go ahead, Sammy.
It's very late in Atlanta.
It's late.
Okay.
All right, bye, Jamie. I can take it from here, baby.
No, it's cool. I can wait 2 minutes.
No, so the episode, it was a good one. We haven't had a good one from Beverly Hills in a minute. I'm gonna say it was like a 7 or 8. Garcelle, I was proud of Garcelle tonight. She showed up in the way that I've been waiting for her to show up. She wasn't overly aggressive, but she was very direct and stern in her position. And I like that. I think that's what took Erika back. Erika wasn't expecting for her to sit up and go toe to toe with her. I think Erika was waiting for her to be timid and kind of scale back like she usually does. Mm-hmm. I do not think that Garcelle is truly concerned about Erika's well-being. I think she's just not feeling the way she's been moving with Sutton, and then of course with her sons. Sutton does need to realize that those girls don't care for her. She just needs to let it go. Yep. And Diana can just completely go. I don't know what Diana's purpose is.
Who is Diana?
She can go. The biggest thing I want to say was Dorit. Dorit is responsible for putting that battery in Erika's back. You can tell they've been having.
I told you.
You can tell they've been having conversations outside of the cameras. From the fact that she was even when it was brought up, she was the one who kind of stood up and approached the comment. Well, this is what was said, and you were doing this. And Kyle sat there and acted like she was confused, like she didn't know Garcelle said that, but I'm sure she was included in the conversations as well. Yep. But I really just wanted to call in and say, Garcelle, I'm glad Garcelle is actually she's like standing up. She has her spine is back in place because she's not folding anymore. I think she's tired of faking like she really cares to be friends with Erika. And Rinna too for the most part at this point, because Rinna was on some bullshit tonight. She did that whole spiel last week with Sutton that she didn't want to be fighting with her, and the first chance she got when the rest of the girls came along, she went to hollering and screaming and fussing with Sutton again. But hopefully Sutton realizes that them girls don't want to kick it with her like that, and hopefully Garcelle stays what she was tonight. Be direct and upfront with your feelings. Hopefully, yeah. She needs to stay that way because
she said she's ready for the reunion. She said, "Bring on the reunion." I think she's ready. So
based on tonight, I believe.
Yes, and the fact that she hasn't been fooling with Erika at all on social media since all this stuff has happened, I think she's ready.
I can't wait.
Oh, but yes, I just wanted to call in and lean in a little bit on Wednesday night live.
But Sammy,
right, y'all can catch Sammy on Tuesday. So Married to Medicine Child on that crew.
But Sammy, on the group chat 15 minutes ago, you said I was only calling to cuss you out anyway.
Jamie, why you?
What did you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
And in the words of Erika, so now you're gonna go down as a liar because I never said that. I never said
y'all
that.
follow my Twitter.
I thought Jamie had to go.
I'm gonna post some screenshots.
Jamie, before you go, please. Before you go do what you do, make sure the water is clear. I don't want you spreading on Twitter tomorrow.
Danny, I'm a virgin.
We're going to go ahead and lean out again. Make sure y'all like this video. And make sure y'all check out Sammy on Tuesdays with Married to Medicine, hosted by Chase. Jasmine's there. Antonio's there. They have a time every Tuesday. Make sure y'all like this video and subscribe. And as JP Rob said, we are not going to be here next week. For Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it's going to be no episode until the 31st. So we won't be here. But shout out to everybody that has been watching. And good show. I would say it was a good episode because our views reflected. Like we have a good amount of views every time we do a show, but when the episodes are like their best, we get a lot of views because people come and they want to talk about it. And some watch it live, some watch it later. But shout out to everybody that's been watching live. We really appreciate it. We're gonna lean out and we'll talk to y'all next time. Okay. All right, y'all.
Good to see you, Sammy.
You too, Jamie.
Bye.